Hi everyone, this is Neha Bhalla and I am a licensed regulated Canadian immigration consultant. And being licensed consultants, I am authorized to deal in all kind of immigration applications. So if you have any queries or doubts or any of you want to file your applications for any kind of visas like super visas or visitor visa or immigration application related to permanent residency, express entry, or citizenship, then you can contact us. Our contact details are given in the details below. Okay, so now in our today's video, we are gonna discuss about a very important visa, that is a super visa. So if you want to know more about the super visa in detail, what is it and everything about it, then stay tuned. So starting with our video, so today we are gonna talk about super visa. So the video will include topics like what is a super visa exactly, then why a super visa and not a visitor visa. So basically we'll compare a super visa and a visitor visa and which option is more feasible for you. And also we are going to talk about the eligibility of applying for a super visa. Then we also going to discuss about the fees and the processing time of a super visa. Now let's begin with what is exactly a super visa. So super visa is exclusively for parents and grandparents only and not for any other relatives. So, and also it is one of the best alternative to the parents and grandparents sponsorship program. So if you are in any way not eligible or somehow not able to sponsor your parents or grandparents for a permanent residency, then this is the best alternative you can have for getting your parents or grandparents to Canada to stay with you for a longer time. So super visa is a visa which lets your parents or grandparents visit you inside Canada for a longer duration, like for up to 5 years at a time. And also it has the possibility of an extension for up to 2 years. So you can see for up to 7 years your parents or grandparents can stay with you inside Canada due to the super visa and without the need to exit the country, just unlike the visitor visa, because in visitor visa you have to exit the country. So there is no such requirement to exit the country and they can stay for up to 7 years, including an extension of 2 years. This visa is a multiple entry visa. It allows multiple entries for up to 10 years or depends upon the expiry date of your passport. So for example, if you apply a super visa for your parents now and their passport is valid till say 2027, so they will get a super visa till 2027 only and not till the 10 years period. So it depends upon the expiry date of your passport also. So up till this approved time period till 2027, we say their super visa got approved. So they have multiple entries. They can enter anytime. They can exit anytime. But up to a maximum, they can stay up to a maximum of 5 years and can also apply for an extension, which they can receive for up to 2 years. One important thing to remember, super visa is also a kind of visit visa. So your parents are not eligible to work on this visa. So they cannot come here and engage in any kind of paid work if they are here on a super visa. And also one more important thing to remember here is that they cannot include any dependent child on their super visa application. So for example, when you sponsor your parents, when you apply for their sponsorship as a permanent residency, then they can include dependent children, but they cannot include dependent children on a super visa application. Now let's move to the next part of the video, that is the comparison of basically a visitor visa and a super visa. So first of all, both these visas, visitor visa and super visas, these both are multi-entry visas which you get for up to 10 years. But what the difference between them is, first is the period of stay. So in a visitor visa, generally you get to stay for a maximum 6 months, and after 6 months you will eventually have to exit the country, go back to your country, and then you can re-enter, right? But in a super visa, you can stay in Canada for a stretch of up to 5 years. And after 5 years, if you want, you can also apply for an extension, which you can get for up to 2 years. So this was the first major difference for the period of stay, for how long you can stay in Canada. So the next difference is of the financials. So if you think your financials are strong and your parents' financials are not that strong, So because the focus in a super visa is on the financials of the child or the grandchild who is inviting the parents or grandparents. So you have to prove your income in that you are able to provide for the basic necessities of your parents and grandparents. So if you meet the income requirement, then you can go for a super visa. But if you think your parents financials are very strong home ties, and good, you can say, bank statements, employment or pensions, then you can apply for a visitor visa. Okay, so the third thing is the insurance requirement. In case of a super visa, there is a mandatory insurance requirement, whereas in visitor visa, there is no such mandate requirement while applying your visa application. Then the fourth is a medicals. So while you apply for a super visa, your parents or grandparents, if they apply for a super visa, there is a mandatory requirement that they have to give the immigration medical exam. In case of a visitor visa, there is no medical examination, immigration medical examination required at the time of visa application. Now let's talk about the eligibility for the application of a super visa. So first important eligibility is that if you want to your parents or grandparents to apply for a super visa, then your status in Canada should be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. So only in this scenario your parents can apply for a super visa. If you are here on a temporary status like a student basis or on a work permit, then you cannot apply a super visa for your parents. So the next important eligibility is that there should be a letter of invitation. So you have to write a letter of invitation, a signed letter of invitation from your side, with a promise that you will be bearing the financials of all your parents or grandparents. And also in the letter, it is very important to state the number of family members in your household, because that income calculation is based upon the number of family members you have. Okay, so then the next eligibility criteria is a medical insurance from a Canadian insurance company, which should be valid for at least 1 year from the date your parents enter into Canada. And next, it should be for at least $100,000 coverage. So that should be the coverage amount, minimum coverage amount. And also there should be proof that it has been paid in full, the insurance. So basically you have to buy an insurance from the insurance company for $100,000 coverage. And you know, has been a recent change few days back only. Earlier it was allowed to give the monthly insurance payments, but now this has recently changed. Now the criteria is that you have to make complete payment, complete yearly payment of the insurance for your parents, and then only your parents will be eligible, will be allowed to enter Canada. So this is a very important requirement and a major difference between visitor and super visa also. So, and it's also a very costly part. So the major cost in the super visa is of the insurance. The cost is, if I talk about the average cost, so the insurance company charge around 1,000 Canadian dollars to 1,500 Canadian dollars. This is the average for one person for approximately 1 year, for 1 year. So 1,000 to 1,500 Canadian dollar for per person per year is the average insurance cost that you have to pay for the super visa insurance. There is a mandatory need to renew or maintain the medical insurance while the parents are in Canada, or on their re-entry also there is a requirement. One more important point is that super visa can only be applied from outside Canada. So while the application of a super visa, your parents should be outside Canada and not inside Canada. Now let's move to the next part, that is the proof of funds. So what happens is, when you are inviting your parents on a super visa, you must meet the MNI, that is the minimum necessary income level, that is the LICO income you have to meet. Then only you will be eligible basically for inviting your parents on a super visa. So what all can be used as a proof of funds? So you can show your notice of assessments, your T4s, your T1 for the recent year. So for just 1 year it is required. And if you were on some employment insurance, you can show the employment insurance benefit statements. You can show your employment letter, your offer letter and everything. You can show your salary slips. You can show your bank statements for last few months. So this all will be used. These documents can be used as a proof of funds. And what income you need to meet depends upon the number of family members. So here you can see the LICO table. This is the LICO table and the number of family members given. So as per the number of family members, you have to meet that income requirement to be eligible to sponsor your parents on a SuperVisa. Let's move to the processing fee. The fee for SuperVisa is the same as visitor visa, which is 100 Canadian dollar per person, and $85 per person is the biometric fee, which they have to give for giving their biometrics. And the processing time as per the IRCC website currently shows around 120 days as on August 13th. So but it keeps on changing, and not necessarily it takes this much time only. Recently we had one application which got approved for a SuperVisa in just 1 month time period. So it depends upon application to application, but the average processing time which is currently shown is 124 days on the IRCC website. So talking about the current scenario, the SuperVisa, this has recently changed. Earlier on SuperVisa, parents were eligible to stay for a period of maximum 2 years, but now this has recently changed to from 2 years to 5 years. But now you need to know whether you can stay for 5 years or not, or you are still eligible to stay for 2 years only. So the criteria is based upon your entry to Canada. If you enter Canada after 4th of July 2022, then you are eligible to stay on a SuperVisa of up to 5 years at a time. But if you entered Canada on a SuperVisa before July 4th, 2022, so you could only stay for 2 years at a time and not 5 years. However, if you want to stay longer, then what you will have to do is you will have to leave Canada before the end of your authorized stay period, and then you can re-enter Canada, and then you will be allowed to stay for up to 5 years only, and also you can apply for an extension of up to 2 years. So guys, I hope this video was informative and useful to you. So many of your doubts regarding a SuperVisa, what is a SuperVisa, and the eligibility criteria and other such FAQs have been cleared now. And just to inform that our company Sans Global Immigration, we deal in SuperVisa applications. So if you want to go ahead and apply a SuperVisa for your parents or grandparents, or in fact if you're not sure whether you want to go with this application or not, you can book a consultation with us at the below number, and we can discuss about the possibilities, eligibility, whether you can apply for a SuperVisa or not, and then we can go ahead and apply the application. So I hope you liked my video, and if you like the video, please do subscribe to my channel and do share my video with your friends and relatives, and we will definitely be coming up with more immigration topics. So kindly subscribe us to stay in touch with the immigration thing.